A woman checks a home webcam from her office and is shocked to find thieves rifling through her living room.
He's in my house. I'm seeing him walking around my house.
Boynton Beach, Florida is a bedroom community located between two cities, Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach. With its waterways, manicured lawns, and tall palm trees dotting the landscape, it's a beautiful place to settle down and raise a family.
We moved in this neighborhood about 16 years ago. We moved in the house when it was brand new. It seems to be a very nice community. Lots of children around, lots of activities for the children to do, and it seems to be generally warm and everybody seems to know other people.
But although the community promotes a sense of peace and tranquility, like most places, it also has an underside.
We have everything from the low-income drug crimes all the way up to white-collar frauds.
And one spring morning, Jeanne's home becomes a Boynton Beach crime statistic. Burglars crawl through a doggy door located in the kitchen. They think no one sees them, but miles away, someone is watching.
I was at the office, I wasn't there. I was watching a live video feed of my house, and there was a man in my house and he was robbing me.
Yes, Jeanne Thomas is at her desk, watching her own home being robbed. Jeanne's a university travel counselor, works full-time, and had installed a low-cost internet-based home surveillance system a few months earlier because she'd been robbed once before. She's determined not to be a victim again. Funny enough, her husband thinks it's a stupid idea.
He thought it was absolutely crazy to buy it. It's like, you know what, just humor me. I'm gonna purchase this, and I just have a feeling I will be able to save something. I had no idea that I would actually catch somebody red-handed in the act by a pure feeling there's a problem.
That feeling, a gut feeling, is what Jeanne has when she decides to check the video system.
When I logged on and it opened up, there was a man standing in my living room taking my son's video games, collecting his remote controls, and taking it back to my bedroom. I immediately called 911 in a full panic.
911, I'm watching my home on live monitor, and there's a man in my house and he's robbing it. Oh God, please hurry. Please hurry.
Officer Brian Goldfuss is on patrol and hears over the radio there's a burglary in progress.
While we were en route to the burglary in progress, we were being told by dispatch that the caller, Ms. Thomas, was actually currently watching on her surveillance camera these people inside her house.
He's in my living room in the main part of the house.
Officer Goldfuss is surprised because catching a crime in progress is rare.
A lot of times what we find is people have surveillance cameras and they find it way after the fact. They get home from work, check the cameras, and see that somebody had broken into their house. It was a nice change that somebody was actually currently watching it and was able to direct us into the house to actually catch these people committing the crime.
The police arrive at the home and catch the criminals in the act.
At that point, the person noticed that people were outside. He opened the vertical blinds, looked out, saw the police. Then he must have told his buddy that was in my bedroom. Then they started to panic. They ran around the house, tried to figure out how they could get out. There was no way to get out. The back was surrounded, the front was surrounded. They knew they were trapped. I saw the one go out with his hands up. The other one tried to dispose of the bag that he had thrown jewelry and stuff into. And he then went out as well, and the police apprehended them.
After the suspects are detained and Jeanne arrives home, the police ask Jeanne for the surveillance tape.
Watching the video, we saw two suspects actually crawled in through a doggy door, which luckily enough is where the camera was pointed at.
While the robbery is taking place, one of the suspects is so brazen, he takes food out of the refrigerator.
The big guy gets out shredded Kraft Mexican cheese for tacos, walks out into the living room, opens up the shredded cheese, and decides to start eating shredded cheese. Obviously, they hadn't eaten before they burglarized houses.
News of the crime goes national. MSNBC, Telemundo, and The Today Show pick up the story. And for a day, Jeanne becomes a media darling.
In Boynton Beach this morning, and Jeanne Thomas is with us here in the studio. Jeanne, good morning to you.
When the dust finally settles, 4 men are apprehended, 2 that were in the home and 2 in the getaway car. They're charged with, and plead guilty to, burglary.
At the end of the day, I feel criminals don't know what they're walking into. You have no idea. And you know what? Average people can catch them. With technology nowadays, they don't stand a chance.
Coming up,